Hello, Pioneers. I am Mark McGarry, and I am applying for the Assistant Superintendent of Instruction position for East Grand Rapids Public Schools. The first question that you had asked was my leadership philosophy, the proudest moment of an example of this philosophy. Well, my philosophy can boil down to two parts: standardize expectations, customize implementation, and people first. When we talk about standardized expectations, we talk about making sure that everybody knows what the expectations are for learning that should occur in every building, in every grade level. But customized expectation is where the real growth begins, because that's an opportunity for every teacher and every administrator to customize those expectations to meet their students' needs. I recognize that every student learns differently, and we need to also recognize that when we're in our classrooms and our schools as well. Putting people first means that we have to make sure that we're doing what's best for our students, but it also means we have to look out for our staff as well and do what is best for them, creating a balance of making sure that all people in the district are cared for. My proudest example of implementing this leadership strategy comes with the experience I had as an instructional leader with my fifth grade. Over a 3-year time span, I was able to help move the fifth grade from one of the lowest performing grade levels in the district and the county to the highest performing grade level in the district and the top 3 performing grade levels in the county. We moved from just about 20% proficient on the M-STEP to almost 40% proficient, and have been able to maintain a proficiency rate around that level. The second question that was asked was how I would cultivate leadership amongst the administrators and how I would measure my effectiveness in academic and social emotional growth. One of the things that I think is important to cultivating leadership is making sure that you build relationships. With relationships, it allows us to understand one another better, but it also brings out people's strengths and allows us to better have conversations about growth edges. And so one of the ways that I would cultivate leadership is make sure that we play on each other's strengths, not only to lead in the district, but also to help hone each other so that we become stronger together. Another way that I would help cultivate leadership would be to look at those growth edges and look at what trainings we can do to work together and make sure that we are all continually growing as lifelong learners. Analyzing whether or not this is going well and whether or not leadership is actually working can be done in many different ways. Academically, we can look at local test scores or NWA scores to help us see the impact that our leadership is having on teacher instruction and student growth. For social emotional, we can look at surveys that students take, or we could look at more research-based programs like SABRS that allows us to judge how students' social emotional health is doing. For the third question, you asked me to envision my first day at work and the goals that I would have. My first day at work, I would be honored to be sitting with all of the administrators. And one of the things that we would talk about first is the fact that we want to encourage strong social emotional health. Students can't learn unless they are in a good state of mind. Teachers can't teach at their best unless they're at a good state of mind. We need to make sure that we're taking care of all of the people in our building. And then we would talk about making sure that in order to do that, there are clear expectations. Those expectations are consistently applied, and that we are holding everyone in a fair accountability. Those 3 factors, that consistency, accountability, and clear expectations, they allow us to provide security not only for students but for staff as well, so that everybody knows what the plan is as we move forward. The 3 goals that I would have as we move into the 2021-2022 school year would be that I would want to listen, learn, and lead. Listen to those around me, learn from the proud tradition of East Grand Rapids, and take those lessons to lead us into the future. So as I close, there was a question that you wanted me to pose as well. So I think I would ask you to please identify at least 3 instructional practices that you feel are foundational to East Grand Rapids' tradition of success. I appreciate the time that you've taken to listen to this video. I'm honored to have an opportunity to go through this screener. Go Pioneers, go East Grand Rapids. I hope to talk to you all soon in person.